All right, we are gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go through the supplies that you're going to need. So if you need to run and get these, that's fine. I'm gonna mute or have Tim mute everybody. So welcome today for Tim time, okay? First of all, you're gonna need a ruler that has inches and centimeters, and then we're gonna play. It's gonna be fun today because it disappears every once in a while. So a ruler with inches on it, okay, that's how we're gonna measure. You're gonna need some kind of string. I have some pretty thin string here. You get 4 feet. Perfect, I see yours, Kenley. All right, perfect, you're gonna need 4 feet of that. So if you have your ruler, you can, it'll be a little more, but that's okay. You can just wrap it around your ruler, like 1, 2, 3, 4, mine is just a little bit extra. And so you get 4 feet of string for this challenge. Okay, so you have ruler, string. Then, this is the tricky part. You need, they're gonna disappear, so I'm gonna hold them in front of myself. They have green tint to them, apparently, on my green screen back there, okay? You get 20 pieces, this is spaghetti, so 20, count them out. I have shattered quite a few pieces of spaghetti trying to get them out and count them. All right, so make sure you have 20 pieces of spaghetti. And Emelina, our spaghetti is in the cabinet, the snack cabinet. She texted me and asked me where it was. All right, so you get 20 pieces. All right, so have those out and ready. You're gonna need a marshmallow. It can be a hard marshmallow that's stale in your cabinet. You need just 1 marshmallow. Unless there's 2 of you competing and you're not working together, then you would need 2 marshmallows, okay? You're gonna need some tape. You can either use masking tape or regular Scotch tape. I think masking tape works better. Perfect, you guys are so prepared, Kinley. Look at that, okay? I can only see so many of you, so if other of you are prepared, good job, all right? Either one, I think masking tape is easier to work with, okay? So you can have that, and here's the thing, once you decide on your type of tape that is good for you, you get 1 ruler length, so 12 inches, okay? Unless you have a meter stick, okay? You only get 12 inches of tape. So you can go ahead and rip that off unless you have bad tape that just rolls off your table, okay? So measure out 12 inches of tape. I'm throwing things today. Okay, and so have that, just stick part of it on the side of your table so you have that ready. You can also use scissors, okay, in this challenge. So you have your string and ruler. You have your 20 pieces of spaghetti. You have 1 soft or hard marshmallow, whichever you have in your cabinet. We have hard, stale marshmallows, okay? It's not quite camping season yet. A pair of scissors, and then your tape, okay? I still see Emelina trying to gather all this, okay? Connor has already done this challenge, okay, at school, so he's not gonna give any tips on how to do it. He knew how to do it even at school, all right, before it started. Okay, I see Kinley is ready, and Kinley's brother, hello, okay. Jonathan, are you waiting to do this for another day? Yes, okay, we can't hear you, but you can shake your head. Okay, Emelina is still running around to get some supplies, probably the tape that she stole from our drawer. Okay, and so you're gonna get 10 minutes in a moment, but not yet, I'm gonna start a timer. You're gonna get 10 minutes, you'll hear some music playing, and you are going to use your spaghetti, okay, and your tape and string to try to build a structure that will hold up your marshmallow. Okay, you can cut them, you can do them however you want, okay? You can use your tape, your string, but the marshmallow itself cannot be torn apart. You cannot use this like Play-Doh. This is just to set on top of your structure. So that tells you 2 things. It needs to hold this, okay, and don't tear it apart, okay? So it needs to be able to kind of, I don't know, sit there somehow without, you can't stab it through. It has to be able to sit on top, okay? So again, you cannot use your marshmallow like to tear off pieces. It's just gonna sit there. So you can set it aside if you want to like try it out on your structure to see if it will hold it. You can do that as well, but don't tear off any pieces, okay? And then at the end, when the time is up, if we have more than 1 structure that can hold the marshmallow, okay, winning factor would be how tall it is. So the taller the structure and it can hold the marshmallow will be our winner for today, and you'll get a sticker sent to you. Okay? So in a moment, Mr. Tim is going to throw our timer up there. You'll hear the music playing, and you'll have that whole time to work. Okay? It'll be 10 minutes exactly. Okay? And at the end, I'm going to have you place your marshmallow on there and see if it holds, and we'll go from there. Okay? Mr. Tim, are you good?
Yeah.
He's going to share his screen there. All right, everybody, hands off. Okay? I want you to turn your screen if you're able so we can see your structure. Okay? So if you're able to like tip your computer or your phone, okay, I'd love to see them. I see Jonathan's scissors, okay? Kinley, I see like the bottom of your face here, all right? If you're able to tilt it, we'd love to see it. But now, Beanie's lifting hers up, okay, perfect. Yes, hello, all right. This is the time, okay? Take your marshmallow. Oh, perfect, there you go, okay? And set it on top. Now remember, you can't stick it through. You have to just set it on top nicely. Whatever your structure looks like, I don't know, however you made it, okay? And we would love to see if your marshmallow sets on top of your structure. Beanie's concentrating really hard. We're all concentrating. Well, there you go, okay. Miss Tara's an engineer, so.
Yeah, that doesn't prove anything in marshmallow and straw, tape, and string. Tell you what structure though.
We have to be creative here at camp, you know? Ooh, wow. Very nice.
Well, see, we tried to build a platform, but we didn't put the
Ooh.
tape. Wait, I can't
Yeah.
see.
Tape wouldn't work.
We didn't make
Okay.
tape long enough to wrap around our
Mm-hmm.
spaghetti. So, and we don't have any marshmallows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but everybody
Something
like what,
similar.
three-
A small
We
grape
use-
might work, but it's round. That I like marshmallows because they're flat.
Jonathan,
You know.
put our tower
Yeah,
back
if you have
up.
something else that
Yeah,
would be
we'll look,
similar
I'll
in
look.
weight. Yeah. All right, we're trying to get those marshmallows on there. And Melina, we can just see half of your face. It's difficult, isn't it? All right, go ahead and measure. Let's see how tall your structure was. Okay.
Here, how
Go
about
ahead
this?
and. Oh, wow. I saw at one point, Kinley, yours was like really long. I saw that. In a big, long piece taped together. How tall is yours, Kinley? We'll unmute you here. Hold on. I cannot unmute you. Mr. Tim will unmute you. All right, Kinley, how tall was yours?
Let's see. We have another one here. Sorry, just a minute. Put it down on the table. 10 inches to the top.
10 inches. Okay. All right. And then, Kinley, what's your brother's name?
Braxton.
Oh, Jackson. Okay. You just are normally on different ones. Okay. Jackson, how tall is yours? The side, yeah, the side with the bigger numbers on there. We got inches here. They're farther apart.
To 8.
8.
Yeah,
Okay.
see,
Yeah.
ours is holding the medicine cup.
Oh, there you go. All right, Tara and Jonathan, how tall are yours?
19 inches tall.
19 inches tall. Wow. Emelina, how tall is yours?
10.
10 inches. Okay. You guys all did a great job. All right. So we're going to send you all stickers. So in the chat in a moment, but not yet, we'll need your addresses. Okay. But right now, we're going to go and see Mr. Tim. Okay. So you did a great job on your STEM stuff. Thank you for joining us today. Mr. Tim has our Bible story for today.
All right. Well, that's awesome. That was super exciting to see how tall your guys' was. Let's see here. Figure this all out. All right. So I don't have a poll for you guys today, but I am going to talk to you guys about the book of Ezra, which is a super awesome book of the Bible. If you guys remember, we talked about 1st and 2nd Chronicles yesterday, which was also another super cool book. Some people don't like it, but it's very interesting. It's very important when you're reading through the Old Testament to be able to understand the whole story, especially Solomon and what Solomon did when Solomon built the temple. That's so important because basically for a lot of the rest of the Old Testament, they try to rebuild the temple and try to make it as good or better than Solomon was able to make it. And so in the book of Ezra, God's people are in exile, and they're kind of like returning from exile, kind of after they've been in exile for a while. And the book is written by, and it's written from the perspective of Ezra, who is a prophet and a scribe in the king's court. And so what Ezra is doing is he's realizing that God's people are not really following what God has told them to do. They're not really following God's instructions. And so he's kind of trying to help them grow spiritually. He's trying to help them get back on board with what God wanted them to do, their purpose, which is to honor and glorify God, which is also our purpose today as well. And so Ezra's going through and he's trying to help them this whole time. My favorite verse from the whole entirety of the book of Ezra is Ezra 9 or chapter 9 verse 9. He says, "For we are slaves, yet in our bondage God has not forsaken us." Right? So they're slaves. They're lowest of the low, right? They're so far down on the scale of people. And even them, God still hasn't forsaken them. Even though they're so far down, God has allowed them to sink this far because they've dishonored God. God still hasn't forsaken them. He still loves them. But God has extended his loving kindness to us in the sight of the kings of Persia and has given us reviving to raise up the house of God, to restore its ruins, and to give us a wall in Judah and in Jerusalem. Right? So King Cyrus, the king of Persia, he's realized that he wants to rebuild God's temple. He wants to rebuild the temple that Solomon had built previously. And so he's doing that, and that's a kind of a confusing thing for him to try to do because he's not one of God's people. So why would he want to rebuild it? But God has worked on his heart, and he's convinced him that he wants to rebuild the temple. And so the entire book kind of revolves around rebuilding this temple, the house of God, which is what they called it. And that's where they go to worship God. That's where they go to offer sacrifices. That's where they go to do basically anything relating to God. It all revolves around the temple at that time. So I also want to talk to you guys about, so there's prophets, which is what Ezra is, and then there are priests, which are the people who live in the temple. They're the Levites, right? And so they have similar jobs, but they're very, very different jobs, right? So you have prophets over here. These are the people who get instructions from God. They say, okay. And so they take those instructions and they give them to God's people. Okay. You have priests who work the opposite direction, right? So they get information from God's people and they say, okay. And they take that information and they give that information to God then. We don't have to do that today, do we? We don't have to go through a priest to talk to God anymore, do we? Because we have Christ. He's in Hebrews talks about he's the mediator. He's the person who's the go-between. We can just pray to him. We can talk to Jesus, and he can tell God whatever is on our hearts, right? We can just pray, and it's that simple. We don't have to go to the temple. We don't have to talk to the priest, and it's all because of Christ's work on the cross. And so as throughout the whole Old Testament, though, there's prophets and there's priests, and we'll talk a lot about those. There'll be a lot of mentioning of those, and that's just that's what they do. Is their jobs is the prophets is they take information from God's people, and the priests take information from God's people to God. I don't know if Carrie has anything else for you today, if she has instructions for the rest of the week, but I encourage you guys, definitely check out the book of Ezra. It's awesome. I love it so much. Definitely read it and let us know what you guys think about it. I'm going to spotlight Carrie here again, and then we'll go.
All right, today you've already come for awesome STEM time, but we do have a staff spotlight, okay? And you are lucky enough that she is actually even on this call, all right now on this Zoom call. We have Learn Ukulele with Emelina. If you happen to have a random ukulele laying around, and always wanted to learn how to play it. So she taught you how to play a song. So that is also under the same virtual camp line for today. So on Wednesdays, we'll be spotlighting something some of our staff can do. So Emelina did that for us. So check that out. It's already up there on YouTube. And then tomorrow is team building with Tim. All right, Tim, are you giving away any clues about what you're doing tomorrow?
They're gonna have to show up and find out. It's gonna be a lot of fun
Okay.
though. I'll tell you that much. It's gonna be a blast.
Okay, and then Friday is craft time with me, ding. Okay, you're gonna need a canvas. If you have any of those laying around, doesn't matter what size. Mine's gonna be about this big, all right? And you'll need some salt and glue. We'll put those supplies on the website so you know ahead of time. You could probably do it on paper, but since we're doing watercolors, you'll need something thicker. So we'll put those up there so you can get ready, but craft time will be a glue, saltwater, watercolor painting. I don't know exactly what to call it, but awesomeness, all right, with craft time. So be sure to check out those in the next day or two. And we thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Thank you for joining us here on Virtual Camp. We hope to see you next time.